Tav X, Purity Becoming One. Tav X, this is a super late night one. I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna just wait like 3 minutes. Anybody comes on, they don't come on, I'm gonna start. 2024 End Times prophecy updates that will knock your socks off. I saw this like not yes, maybe yesterday, the day before. And this other one I want to show you, share this video with you, but they keep taking these videos down of this other guy that I watch. He's not a Torah guy. He's not a Christian. He's I don't know what, but he has a lot of people send him videos and information on current events, things that are going on in the earth. And people listen. It's about to get real. Uh, for real. It's about to get real. And, I want, every once in a while when a powerful end time prophecy update comes, I want to share with the people here at Hebrew on Island too. This is a Torah and Tanakh only channel. We don't deal with the other books, the New Testament, no demon JC. We deal with the Most High alone. If you're going to return back to the Most High, return back to the Most High with your whole heart, put away the strange God and serve Him alone. That's what we do here at Hebrew on Island too. I'm the Kohelet of New Yeshua Israel. This is going to be a prophecy update. I don't know why I can't see anything on the live. I don't know what's going on with that, but maybe it's because of my title. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to then start this video then immediately. This is what I want to tell you. If you think we're not living in the end times by now, September 3rd, 2024, getting ready to be 2025 in a couple months, you must be living under a rock. I don't do that many prophecy updates, but this one I needed to do because seeing so much current events that are happening in the earth, and what about you? But I know there's some people are not seeing this, so that's why here at Hebrew on Island too, I want to share it with you. It wasn't disturbing. I'm not like everybody else. I am, that's why I don't say shalom. I think there's nothing wrong with saying shalom. I say Tav X, purity becoming one. Tav X, purity becoming one. Because I'm not a father. I'm not trying to set a new trend. There's no peace in the earth. I'm going to show you there's no peace. So we need to be seeking purity because the Most High is going to ask us the same question. And before I get to this video, which is going to be like right now, I saw another video earlier today, a couple hours ago. It's Negro Hebrew. Well, I don't know if she's practicing Hebrew. He went into this grocery store, bodega. It was a light-skinned woman, not Negro woman. The woman that is reporting it was a Negro woman. And the Negro woman said she went in the store and there was a woman in front of her. It was a light-skinned Latina woman. She brought her stuff. She left the store. She forgot her receipt of the item that she brought and what she paid for. So the Negro lady picked it up. And you know what she saw? That the lady was getting $15,000 food stamps and $5,000 cash. This was a Venezuelan woman. So Israelites, remember I told you in a video, I don't know, maybe about a month ago, we cannot forgive them. It's in the law because there must be repentance and restitution. They're giving our reparations that the Negroes deserve to heathen Gentiles who just came into this country illegally, pay no taxes, don't join nothing. And they put it right in our face that they say, F you, you niggas. We're going to give that money to these people. They just came off a rowboat in the ocean and walked over from Mexico. We're going to give them $15,000 a month, 5,000 cash. I hate these heathen Gentiles. You guys feel sorry for them voting either side, Democrat, Republican. I'm not into none of that because Deuteronomy 17 says nobody can rule over an Israelite unless it comes from your people, a king, a president, a boss, or whatever. I go by the Tanakh. I don't know about you. Read it in Deuteronomy 17. Don't put no heathen Gentile over Israelites. They are not us. They are Psalm 83. They're pushing it in our face. Hey, we're gonna give us $15,000 and $5,000, 15,000 in food credit and $5,000 cash. They give it to people that not even legal. They do this, and some of you Negroes can't grasp what they're doing. They're going, ha, we ain't giving you no reparation. We ain't giving you shit. We're going to give that money that we would give you in payments. We're going to give it to these people that they just came over here 3 minutes ago. I say, fuck you, heathen Gentiles. F you niggas. Yous are the devil that the Bible speaks of. I never forgive you. Even if you gave us 15,000, 5,000 cash, I would take it and still stick my middle finger at you because you're the devil that the Bible speaks of. And another thing, let me go to the next one because I saw that today. That was bothering me today. And another thing is, you got these Venezuela gangs taking over Colorado, all the housing projects where niggles are. Gunpoint, stealing their stuff, making them pay their money, smoking weed, pistol whipping them. And now they're in Texas doing the same thing. You know, I don't respect heathen Gentiles because they're the devil that the Bible speaks of. The most wise man that ever lived said, he's telling the people, he says, look what I've made. What I've made twisted can't be made straight. They're the devil. Job 9:24, and the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. That's what a wicked person do. I'll give somebody $15,000 in food stamps and $5,000 cash on her receipt, and not repay the people that they basically genocide, destroy. They are the devil. They are the devil that the Bible speaks of. You cannot forgive them. Forgiveness is repentance and restitution. And you know these devils are not going to do it, so don't forgive them. Give them the middle finger. So all day, 24/7. Don't be involved in nothing. Just get whatever little money that you can get and give them the middle finger. They're the devil that the Bible speaks of. I don't want to hear no politics and no lies. It's all lies. They're the devil. They could have paid us back already. Also, those Venezuela gangs are now, because they're expanding. They're in Colorado. Now they're in Dallas. Now think about it. Where's those communities in the Midwest, in Florida, and many other places that the Negroes had their cities, had their libraries, airports, hospitals, food markets, churches, and what do? The churches are no good. The government bombed the cities. The government, American governments flooded the cities that the Negroes made, where we were self-sufficient. They sent the KKK and other thug Caucasians, racist Caucasian cave beasts, and killed, raped, stole all our furniture, all our cars, everything from us. Now they got Venezuela gangs taking over properties in Colorado, and the police and the government don't do nothing, zero. And now they started in Texas, Dallas now. Now, this is why I say stick your middle finger up at the heathen Gentiles government systems of the world. I don't expect justice from the unjust. They're unjust. I know that they're the devil, and I've said it time and time again on all my videos. We are dealing with we see the devil. You don't go in the ground. The devil is in the government, at your job, your boss, your city council, your mayors, your banks, your schools, your stores. There, you don't have to go down in a hole in the ground and see the devil. He's in front of you. Most High made him twisted. It says in Isaiah 14, it says, and what man shook the earth? These niggas are. And now they're coming out with new viruses and stuff soon. 2024, that's why I'm giving you an update. But I'm not going to talk to you about that. I'm going to share just this one video with you. It's crazy. Like, I'm not living in America, but my brothers and sisters are, and I care about you. You know, I'm not saying it's just there. It's going to go around the world. But, you know, I want to share this 2024 prophecy update with you guys. You guys, they got your head in the sand thinking that, oh, everything is going. So it's not the best, but it's going to. Watch this video with me. I'm going to end it here because it's very late. I'm going to show this video clip. There's other ones too. And listen, when I heard this thing today, you had the scientist come on. And he said, listen, throw away all your vitamins and stuff like that. I take vitamins. He said, because there's a thing. And they, after I watched that video, I wanted to show it. They made the video unavailable. So, and I forgot the name. It's hydrogen, whatever, not peroxide. It's some other thing that comes out of, it's a byproduct out of the waste manufacturing. And they skim off that nasty yellow foam and they put it in your vitamins. I tell you, the food is GMO. It's to kill you. Your vitamins, all the doors are closed. I wish I could have showed you that one too. I was going to show you. I'm like, listen, they got us in the air, the water, the food, the vitamins. It's a wrap. Could you imagine when 2025, what's going to happen? We're months from that, several months from away. And things are going to happen between right now and that election and, you know, before the year's up. Crazy things going to happen. Watch this video. Fair use, fair use. I want the food one and the vitamin one, but they took it off. I turned it on. I watched some of it, and it said, "Boop, video unavailable." So I want to hurry up and put this on before they make this guy's video unavailable. 2024 end time update. It's crazy what they're going to say. I'm telling you. You ain't serious about the Most High, you better get serious and better start crossing your T's and dotting your I's and fear the Most High and keep His commandments.
And I found it for you. Data right here on screen is a DSAC portal. It's a government website. What they've done, they put a bunch of people on a list, and this list talks about people that basically, so possibly including firearms regulation. If you don't like that, or you don't like the ease of immigration restrictions, you don't like the limit of the public land, if you are discontent with renewed measures to the mitigation of COVID-19 or any type of virus, you're a domestic violent extremist. And they're going to give this list to the new force that's in control, which we're going to break down all throughout this video. Also, what are the target list zones? We got that. And this is going to give you a navigation through what's coming. In our recent goings up to 2025, you just stick around because we got HHS whistleblowers in here. We got military whistleblowers in here, pilot whistleblowers. You need to really listen to this. This is a life or death scenario. But when you look into what they're actually saying in the most recent, this list will be given to a new force that would be taking over the United States.
The Courage to Serve Act. This bill would offer qualified and vetted migrants an expedited path to citizenship if they serve in the military.
This former, basically, colonel that came out and said that this is how they're going to use illegals to turn the guns on us.
The largest problem is that Washington is this ideological bubble, and everyone decides that anyone who doesn't agree with them, that the world has to be refashioned in some new image that exists only in their minds. and that anybody who disagrees with them is by definition a criminal and has to be treated as such, what better solution than finding people who have no connection to the American people, arming them, and then sending them out to oppress us? Sounds like a great solution.
And this makes so much sense because I pulled out a map. I told you the depopulation map that just came out this year, which goes up to 2025, even though they lie and say 2100. Notice something, like I said, once again, these green zones are all the areas where migration is going. And in the red areas is where the depopulation zones are. So if you're bringing in a military force that is immigrated here and they get a fast track, and you see the zones that we're looking at right here, these are the areas where the highest targeting happens. And they've got very serious, like we said just the other day, and people don't even take it serious. Like they had a whole roundtable meeting with law enforcement about a civil emergency in America. I recently just told you that. That was March 1st they came out with this report. And they said it wouldn't just be National Guard, it'd be private entities there too.
The 357th Military Police Company of Concord, California, trained for detention operations at Fort Hunter Liggett. Made up of correction and detention specialists within the Military Police Corps, the unit prepares to assume the responsibility of securing and protecting displaced civilians in a theater of operations. This includes transferring refugees from hostile environments to Army detention centers to protect them from attack while also controlling civil unrest.
So look at this map right here. This is a taste of what the military's camps are like, detention centers inside of their drill. Now, I put a map beside a map, and I want us to look closely here. This is exactly what we're seeing. You see this? These areas you need to be cautious of when the civil unrest moment goes down. They said they will also be removing immigrants so that they could potentially help them from civil unrest, because it might be a scenario where people are going after them because they are coming after us.
This includes transferring refugees from hostile environments to Army detention centers to protect them from attack while also controlling civil unrest.
Take this into perspective here. Let's, after looking at that map, then look at the timing that the United Nations are going to leave New York, because I didn't go deep into that. I just told you they were leaving. But they happen to pack up and leave right on time. They leave. Look, a fully integrated program technical division will be in place August 2024, ahead of the physical move plan between March, September 2025. So here's what I see happening. Excuse me. All of the assets will be moved from the UN office right away. And maybe they leave the other ones there for the longest period, and they could be stuck in the middle of some event, because that's usually how they do it. They cast them to the wolves. Now, it was also another 2025 scenario called by this Air Force general who said, basically, we'll be at war with China by 2025. Technically, that could be a case, but the internal war that we would face would be from the invaders that's already in, who's probably going to be serving in the military, who's giving orders to come after the average person because of some list, just like I showed you. Now, like we said, the navigation to all this stuff on the map is that the Rocky Mountains area is the area that has the less population. So the forewarning scenario is that they got a plan to have everybody flood us, right? Now, during those unrest moments, there's an establishment process of how emergency protocols are set up. We got that here right now for you. Super important you see this. Let's talk about it. Since civil unrest was the big topic for the military, if you look under the U.S. Fire Administration, there's something that happens during this civil unrest moment. Activate the emergency operations, support incident area, assign EMS representatives to EOC, assist with coordination, establish method for screening calls and service. Now, what they have is something called hot, cold, and warm zones that EMS will not be responding to. The reason why they can't respond to a hot zone, because it's basically a zone that's super basically devastated, probably gunshots going through it. Warm zone, an area of lower threat, but which may become unsafe, law enforcement support is recommended for entry into the warm zone. This is what America is basically going to become after all this stuff breaks down. I'm just trying to give you the insight on what you would need to know. Cold zone, an area of little to no threat of civil unrest or violence, law enforcement support. It's optional for entry into the cold zone. Now, as people, we would need to know what a hot zone is, a warm zone, and a cold zone. I have the official diagram and where the actual smart wall will be at after everybody gets in, how they plan to do this. Well, they talk about the smart wall. They've been talking about it for a couple of years, and we'll pull up the diagram. So it was in some predictive programming that when some outer states was hit with devastation, what would happen is they would put walls around only the areas that they deem to be still, good living, not devastated environments. California was one of them in the predictive programming. I remember that was on Colony. Smart wall up. Huge wall, drones comes out of it. The real project is right. And they say they want fiber optic sensors. They want, underground cables, detection systems. And that's not because they don't want people to get in, it's because they don't want you to get out. Because everybody's already in at this point. You can see travels from all across the U.S.-Mexico border. And so that's really right here on the map where this is all the areas where the border enforcement zones are. So, it only makes sense why all the areas of why we would be flooding in certain zones would be the hot zones on the edges of the United States. But meanwhile, of the United States is supposed to suffer much more devastating depopulation plan. So that's moving all the way up from here. 2025 is the biggest plummet. So by 2026, it's going to be like a whole different world. We have an Army vet coming on talking about FEMA situations that's been happening for the last couple of years that we should very much be highly tuned in. Thanks for tuning in here, Stephanie, and please tell us the dire info that we need to hear.
Okay, I live in the Panhandle, West Virginia, about 90 miles north of Washington, D.C. There is the International Guard base right near where I live, in my hometown, and for the last 2 years, there has increased the military aircraft coming in besides the aircraft that they fly there. They have increased their flight time from only 2 days a week to 3 to 4 days a week now. Air Force One is down in Endtimes Air Force Base. It comes up here this part of West Virginia to do its touch and goes, and it has increased its touch and goes heavily in the spring. I'm also noticing on the interstate where I live here, Interstate 81 that goes through my area in West Virginia, but it's also an increase of military convoys.
Oh, no, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm pretty sure you're 100% right about the convoys coming in. But, however, it's an even bigger situation that another military vet told me about. And I'm pretty sure all y'all want to hear it here because, I got the video where we see the trucks coming in. He's like, this is, as a matter of fact, he says it's not our trucks. Let's go ahead and play that clip.
Remember when I told you they were moving Humvees through semi-trucks?
I've seen a little bit of transcript we talked about. He said, no, these look like white. Ours were green or tan. That's what I found strange. All three of them had the logo. The trucking company was a Road Warriors. So, and I asked him, was that U.S. military Humvees? And that was the information he was saying. He said the company logo, he looked it up and it looked fake. So we already got the Chinese police station in America, just like literally in New York, and I'm pretty sure everybody wants more insight on what's going on. Like, just what do you think is happening?
I do believe their military is prepping for something coming big. I don't know if it's going to be DC being hit. I think it's nuclear. Some kind of natural disaster is going to happen. But
like a lot of things, COVID changed FEMA's plans for this year's disaster drill, but they found a way to simulate how to move resources around the greater Northwest.
Those signs that you see on the map represent resources,
Water, food, rescuers, they'll all be needed in the event of a massive earthquake.
and those blue lines are roads that we think will survive based on science, based on criteria.
This natural disaster board game brings together federal and state officials from Alaska, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington.
This is going to have to be an all hands on deck, consolidated effort, and we all got to have to be on the same sheet of music.
do you believe there are setting up these FEMA camps in the Walmart?
Whistleblower who worked for HHS revealed the government is building secret detention facilities all over the United States. Now, we already knew they were building detention facilities. It's not about that part. It's about the next part that basically she says, and then we go into detailed evidence.
It's not for these illegals, especially let's go off the numbers that they're telling us that there really are. They're saying, 11 million? In reality, I can tell you right now, with talking to all of the agents that I've talked to, private sector, looking at the cameras and all the real data, we're over 30 plus million who've actually entered this country.
Yep.
And so even with that, even though that's enough to replace about 36 states population, concentration camps, processing facilities, they're going to need somewhere to process the dissident.
So they are prepping for something that is coming.
And
But I just don't know what it is yet.
you said you had like a map or something about that?
Yes, okay. If DC gets set, where I'm at in West Virginia, I'm 90 miles north of Washington, D.C. Of course, I'm up here where the mountains are, so we're kind of basically safe. The nuclear warhead was up and down D.C. when I was in the Air Force here, when I was in the Army. Basically, my area is the best zone for people coming up from DC if something happens. And I'm about 100 miles from 3 Mile Island, and we're just about further enough low enough that anything from Pennsylvania and 3 Mile Island or DC gets hit, we're in the safe zone. So I think since the 2000s, early 2000s, I really do think that we have slowly been prepping through the military to get things ready for a disaster, whether that be nuclear or some natural disaster.
Didn't you say you had you said you had a briefing during the time you was in the military? What was that briefing about that you told me?
The nuclear fallout if DC gets set. How would this affect the area? And basically, my area, West Virginia, I'm in the Panhandle, West Virginia, we are safe. What they expect is people from Frederick to DC area will flood this area.
So what areas are not safe?
Anything below DC and going out to the east of DC.
So
Because with the wind flow, the wind direction, we would not be getting hit. Such that the wind comes up from the north and moves to the west.
there's one huge scenario that we didn't talk about from this pilot whistleblower who brings it out. I'm going to keep my colloidal silver, coat myself, and make sure I take it in these scenarios.
Into this because we started hearing reports from colleagues that something had changed in the storage facilities on board, and they weren't signing hazardous goods forms anymore. In the U.S., the military is spraying mRNA From what we understand, mRNA is being sprayed in remote areas and cities where vaccine uptake is lagging. In Europe, we hear that it's a combination of military and commercial planes. Many of these guys don't understand what they're doing. But we know that in the US, the military has been spraying chemicals on populations for decades now. In reality, mRNA was a DoD and deep state product made in conjunction with the globalists around 10 years ago. The Project Warp Speed, 8-month production schedule, that was all kabuki theater. Part of the grand plan to brainwash the masses, force them into mass formation psychosis. So it's no surprise the Pentagon is involved in administering mRNA to the masses.
What else are they spraying? As John explains, they've done tests in Europe using mass spectrometry to analyze the residue that settles on cars and windows during periods of heavy chemtrail pollution. The results from Europe are disturbing, to say the least.
It's important to understand how toxic this stuff is. We're talking about graphene oxide, aluminum oxide, barium, and mRNA. These are some of the most toxic metals in the universe. I have young children. To think they're being slowly poisoned with this stuff, when I saw the results on these tests, I became radicalized. There's no other word for it.
You won't believe what else I found. You need to subscribe now because you're going to get some of the most critical, life-helping videos ever. And this cannot be missed as well.
Okay. Come on.
It takes over 40 gallons of sap.
Okay. I told you this information. I don't have nothing on the live chat, so I don't know who's in the room. Whoever's in the room, Tavex. But you know, I stick my middle finger. Yeah, I stick my middle finger up at this whole heathen world. All the governments, they're all Psalm 83, Confederate against the Negro, to have the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. All these in America and Venezuelan gangs taking over Colorado, now they in Dallas, Black Wall Street, Rosewood, and there's a bunch of other cities made by Negroes, prospering. They sent the army in, they sent airplanes and bombs, they did this, they did that. But you got Venezuela criminals, no paperwork, nothing. And you let them do that, walk around with gangs, threaten that they're gonna kill police too? That's why I hate the heathen Gentiles. King David says, I hate those who hate the Most High. I hate them with a perfect hatred in Psalm 139. I'm just like my forefather, King David. And the Negroes are the Hebrew Israelites. Not all Negroes, the Shemitic Hebrew Israelites. Negroes were and still are in all the lands. We are the aboriginals of all the lands. I'm a Shemitic one. My foreparents is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the 12 tribes of Israel. You know this by the curses that are on us. And guess what? Love, hate, good, and evil, everything was planned out from the beginning. All the Negroes and the African Hamites and all these other Negroes that are not Shemitic, you can see they're not into Torah. They're not into keeping the law. They're not into studying the Tanakh. That's not in their mind. The Most High does everything. Proverbs 16, a man can arrange his thoughts, but the answer of the tongue is of the Most High. A good man's steps is ordered by the Most High. For it to be your righteousness that you fear the Most High and keep his commandments. He says, I will decide who I will allow to survive. And he says, all your works are going to be judged, whether good or bad at the end. So the only Israelites the only people that are going to make it to the end is the Israelites and some of the heathens, because they're going to be kept, because they are the new servants and handmaidens in the new kingdom. So these Negroes that are into church, Messianics, Muslim, New Age, voodoo, witches, and just regular niggas, they ain't of the Most High. The Most High is the one. The answer of the tongue is of the Most High. A good man's steps, your steps is ordered by the Most High from the beginning. So if you ain't into the laws, you ain't into keeping laws. If you ain't into keeping laws and you ain't doing none of that, and you ain't a Hebrew Israelite, you're just a Jebusite or an Amorite or Hittite or another Negro type, or a Hamite. We in the last days. Now, if Negro people were taking over buildings in a whole bunch of states, they would have the whole National Guards shoot on sight. And then all the other heathens, that's why I'm not with them either, because they were like, yeah, look what they did. They took this guy's property and they forcing people to give them their rent money and stealing them and robbing them and raping them and whatever. Yeah, kill them all. But they ain't doing that to these white-skinned, pale-skinned Venezuelan people, Latinos, and they're giving them our reparation money. $15,000 a month in food stamps and $5,000 in cash. You're giving all that money to Ukraine. You could have paid us back. We hate you. Can't be forgiven. No, we don't have enough. We got to do reparations and another investigative. Yeah, but there's no council deliberation to give these immigrants illegal $15,000 a month plus $5,000 cash. Give them cars, houses. Now you give them loans to buy houses. You are the devil that the Bible speaks of. Israelite who's hearing my voice, within my voice range, hate them like King David. They're not keeping the law. Oh yeah, but don't be mad. A new Yeshua Israel, because Most High made them to be about to beat us. Zechariah 1, they overdid the punishment. Our punishment is coming, winding down. Theirs is winding up, but the end got to come first. They overdid it. Don't forgive them. This is New Yeshua Israel, Hebrew Island 2. Until next time.